Hey, this is Waste and Recycling News Editor John Campanelli, and we are here at Wastecon. It is Wednesday morning before the action. We got a little bit of quiet here.
Absolutely.
And I'm here with Jay Vincent, Saint Consulting. Jay, what do you do with Saint Consulting?
I'm the waste sector practice leader, so when it comes to waste and recycling issues, I deal with our corporate and municipal clients navigating the difficult environment that's out there today for permitting these types of projects.
Yeah, our industry, it doesn't always smell good, and a lot of when we want to create a landfill or transfer station, there's usually some resistance in the community, and your job is to kind of help cities, municipalities, companies win approval and show people the benefits of these projects. So tell me first, what some of the mistakes that are made by companies, municipalities when it comes to these kind of projects?
Well, we do an annual poll called the Saint Index, which shows that 79% of Americans say no to any type of new development in their community. So we're already starting from a really difficult position as far as the permitting environment. And then when we take a look specifically at the waste industry, the number goes down a little bit to about 76% of people opposed, right? So that's a gut level instinct, almost a blush, at first blush reaction.
Yeah, people hear landfill in there.
Oh yeah, they scramble to figure out how they're going to stop it from coming to their community. But the reality is there are people out there that kind of get it. We see 21% people support the fact that a landfill or some kind of waste-related facility should be in the community. In the end, the problem that we see is that there's really a passion gap out there that companies and municipalities don't understand. We see lots of people show up to say no, but the nascent supporters stay at home. And I see that really as an area that can help municipalities, counties, etc., really begin to change the dynamic in these permitting fights. We counsel 4 steps: identify, engage, harness, and mobilize.
Okay. So instead of being on the defensive, you're getting these cities, counties, governments to go on the offensive, find supporters for the projects, bring them to meetings and stuff like that?
Exactly. So identify. Don't be shy about doing a telephone survey. Don't be shy about using email surveys, etc., to figure out if somebody supports it, opposes it, or is undecided. And then when having that information, the engagement in many ways becomes a little easier. You can, of course, share the same type of information out with the community, but where there's a supporter that's really kind of nascent and not participating in the process, focus a lot of your resources on making sure that that person participates in the process. Because in the end, what we need to see is less of a chorus of opponents and more of a chorus of supporters out there who understand that these types of projects mean revenue for the counties, revenue for the municipalities, and jobs, real jobs. Last year's Saint Index showed that remarkably that the Tea Party would like to see landfills in their community. And the reason that is, I think anecdotally, is revenue and real jobs. It's not like a shopping center that has some retail jobs. These are jobs that require training, require people to go to conferences like this one and receive ongoing education, etc. So I think when you've got that kind of support, that's certainly a group that you can kind of tap into and will show up for a public hearing because they understand the implications of the project are not just the downsides that a community may have, like smell or noise, and rather it's about jobs and economic progress.
Let me ask you this, Jay. Now, there's always going to be a very vocal NIMBY opponent showing up at the meeting. What should the people behind the project do with these? Should they try to win them over? What the NIMBY people, how do they approach them?
Well, there comes a point where a person stakes a flag publicly and says no. And once that's occurred, it really becomes a waste of time for a private entity to try to convince that person that this is a good project. Now, a public entity has a little bit different of a responsibility, right? I mean, they may well be a municipal solid waste district, or elected officials may be the decision maker. And it's at that point where, they have to take a few extra steps to try to convince that person that what is going on at this site or what may happen at this site is both safe and a benefit to the community. But there does come a point where opponents are simply intractable, and we ought not spend any time talking with them.
All right, well, Jay, you've been very eloquent, lots of good information. Thanks so much for coming.
Hey, John, thanks for having me.
Have a good show.
Hey, everybody
thanks for watching.
All right.